Everyone has something they are attracted to. Same for both genders. Need it be a physical part of the body, or it is an action that leads to attraction. There's many things that are normal to most people, from kissing, to touching, to...
Hey, don't try to distract me like that. It's not...
But like every normal thing, there are stray paths that lead to affection from a, well, different way. So since I'm here today, I wondered, can I also like feet? Before I begin, I should probably explain what a fetish exactly is, even if most people understand. The exact definition is a form of sexual desire in which gratification is strongly linked to a particular object or activity or a part of the body other than sexual organs. So if you clicked on this video and watched till this long, you're probably wondering if you can actually force a fetish onto someone or onto yourself. The answer is... In the 1960s, psychologist Stanley Rachman decided to test if a regular object could be turned into a turn-on. The object choice was a pair of women's knee-high boots. How did they do it? Researchers repeatedly showed male volunteers a slide of boots, aka the object they want to sexify, paired with erotic stimuli, in this case, explicit sexual content or arousing imagery. After dozens of trials, something, well, interesting happened. The boots by themselves gave them boners, in a way. I need a burp. Oh, never mind, I'm just gonna leave it in there. In Rachman's original 1966 study, all three men developed a conditioned response. The once normal boots now gave them measurable physical arousal response. Recorded via a genital plethysmograph graph. It's basically just a fancy erection meter. Not only did the men respond to the specific boots, their fetish actually spread it to similar stimuli. High heels, sandals also triggered arousal in some participants. Rachman didn't actually leave the guys fully hypnotized by the boots. He actually found out later if you present the boots without any sexual reward repeatedly, the arousal response eventually faded out. The fetish could be unlearned with enough non-sexy boot exposure, a process called extinction and conditioning. Is that how, like, you know, those conversion camps, is that how they work? I know they probably beat up the kids there. Do you think that they do something similar in that way? Okay, I'm gonna go back on the script. Let's get it. This is not gonna be a conversion camp video. Actually, here's a fun twist. A week later, after unlearning the fetish, Rachman actually brought back all the men and showed them the boots again. And guess what happened? The arousal actually returned on its own. That is a phenomenon called spontaneous recovery. But then they removed it once again. In short, their lab-infused foot fetish wasn't permanent, though it did leave a trace that could resurface once again. As Rachman put it, there seems to be little question that a fetish reaction, like getting turned on by boots, can be acquired through conditioning. In later replications, Rachman and others reinforced these findings. By 1970s, the researchers even proved you don't need a kinky object like footwear at all. You can form a fetish for basically anything given the right conditions. Psychologist and McConaghy, Mr. C, showed that men, both heterosexual and homosexual, could be trained to become aroused by completely arbitrary cues like colored circles or geometric shapes. If those visuals were constantly paired with erotic films or images, in other words, the brain can learn to get excited by a red triangle or a blue square. If you always see it right before you see something sexy. So in all, you can actually force a fetish onto somebody else. It's mainly with willing participants. If given enough time, you can force it onto somebody. Now, a lot of fetishes can come from an early life experience. So if it's during a sensitive period like that, it could stick in your brain and make you be aroused to it later on in life. That's how I believe a lot of fetishes actually start, mainly from childhood experience. So technically, if you want, you could force, not saying you should, you could force a child at a young age by exposing them to certain things a lot, then I think possibly they can get the fetish from it. Quotations, possibly. Also, disclaimer, don't do this, but we can do it on animals if we wanted to. So, people did. If a newborn male rat smells a certain odor on their mother while nursing, they actually grew up preferring females who wear the same scent, an effect demonstrated by Dudine and Alevine in 1983. And get this, mice raised by rat mothers actually try to mate with rats instead of other mice when they're adults. They literally imprint on the foster species. But then again, those are rats and they're dumb and they're not humans. Humans are more malleable. Actually, they're the opposite. I don't know why I said they were. They aren't. It literally says in my script that they aren't malleable. But any fetish really is imprinted in some way. It could be a common look, or you just suddenly notice it one day. So, turns out, yeah. With the right mix of repetition, reward, and possible trauma, you can force a fetish. Kinda makes you wonder what else your brain is hiding in there. And with that being said, for science, for curiosity, for content, I'm gonna try it right here, right now. Bro, I've been at this for 3 hours. I think I'm actually gonna go brain dead at this point. It's so hot in here. My armpits actually stink like hell. My arms are actually pretty tired too. I gotta keep going for the content, you know? Just a little bit more feet I need to find. Can I find some good ones, at least? Wait a minute. The heat? The sweat? The numbness in my arms? But also, the odd desire to keep searching. To find better feet. If that's the case, then that must mean Fuck! Despite the comedic tone to the weirdness in this video, there's nothing wrong with a fetish. You may have, or may get. It's okay to like things that others don't. No matter what it is. As long as you enjoy it, then it's alright. Unless, you're a pedophile, or a necrophiliac, or like incest, or like real life murder. Other than that, you're fine. Just like what you like. And people just don't kink shame people who enjoy things that you don't. So, did I actually get a foot fetish from this? Well,